Hi, out there in YouTube land. I'm Lauren with Cadillac Law. I am a Texas lawyer and I am here to teach you about the law, specifically in Texas, and make it fun, hopefully. I am not giving legal advice in this video, and nothing here should make anyone believe that we have an attorney-client relationship, not between myself or my firm or any of the viewers. And of course, if you have a legal issue, I do want you to call my office or see an attorney. Just like medical, go see a doctor. And as always, before we get into the good stuff, please look down, hit subscribe, like. If you have questions and you would put them in the comments, that will help everybody learn. So I would really greatly appreciate you doing that. Subscribing is free and it helps me grow my viewership, reach more people, share knowledge. Knowledge is power. All right, so today we're going to get right into the Series LLC. So I had spoken about LLCs and kind of gave an overview and drew for you. If you remember my stick figure, who was you created an LLC and you were selling widgets and the person got hurt. So in this scenario, in a Series LLC, which is what we're going to talk about today, you are not only a widget maker, you are a landlord and you own, these are houses. Again, guys, this is not art. I am not an artist, okay? So bear with me. These are the houses that you are investing in. And so currently, your houses are just in the LLC, a regular LLC, all of them, and your widget business. But what happens is I go into property B and I break my leg and my nose, which is my favorite facial feature. So it's worth a lot. And I'm so upset. I take you to court. I get a huge judgment. It was my left leg, which had never been broken before, and my favorite facial feature. I'm getting a ton of money. And now I have this judgment, and the judgment is against the LLC, not you. Remember, we talked about the corporate veil. So it's against the LLC, but that means I can take anything. So I'm taking property B, I'm taking C, I'm taking A, and I might even own part of your widget company if I have a good attorney. So how do we prevent that? Dun, 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 dun. The Series LLC, hold on, obviously I can't art. Okay. So in the Series LLC, you have the LLC limitations to you, but you're creating that LLC limitation around each property. So in this case, the widget business is one property, C is a property, B is a property, A is a property. So the Series LLC basically makes it so each one of these is in its own LLC, but you only have to do one filing with the Secretary of State. So it saves you a ton of money over time. And what that does in terms of when I fall in B and I get my judgment, well, as you can see, B is stuck in this square. B is stuck in the square. So all you're going to be able to get is what's in the series that is included in B. And in this scenario, it was just the real estate in B. So even though my beautiful, precious nose is never going to come back, all I can get is B because you had a Series LLC. Now, I have to tell you, and a lot of clients like, oh, you do have to get, what you do is you get an EIN with the LLC through you. So you're still going to have the same kind of taxation, the flow through, right? But then each time you open a series, like every property you buy or each new series, that series will get an EIN that flows up through this LLC. So it's series into LLC and then LLC into you. So you do have to keep separate accounting for each item in the series. But if you're a real estate investor and you have more than one property, you should have separate accounting for those properties anyhow. It's not like I'm really asking or anyone's really asking a whole lot here. This is actually relatively easy and really could keep you organized and will prevent a lot of legal liability. Now, I've had pushback from one person one time. He was a lawyer in his past life and he says, well, the Supreme Court hasn't ruled on these things. That is true, but unlike him, I see the lack of Supreme Court guidance as an opportunity. It's not a risk in my mind. So you go and you follow the rules about the Series LLC and you do it right. And if you end up having to go to the Supreme Court, you go to the Supreme Court. I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but if it ever did, you could then get that guidance. You could also make arguments and be part of the guidance for the future. In my mind, that is never a bad thing. All right, so I recommend Series LLC for everybody who is an investor, and I usually like to put them inside of a trust, which I have another video which you can link to about trusts, because that adds additional security for you and for the things that are in your name. Also, it allows for the trustee to continue to manage the business if anything happens to you. And most people who are investing in real estate are doing that for an income. So certainly if something happened to you and it's in a trust, and say you had a spouse that's relying on that income, the trust can still do the work and can still continue to get that income for your spouse, instead of putting like a full stop for probate, which does happen. So I hope y'all have learned something today. I'm a huge fan of Series LLCs. I am not a huge fan of art. Well, no, I'm a huge fan of art. I'm not a huge fan of making the art on my own. I hope you forgive me, and I hope you learned something. Have a beautiful day.